Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. As always, my name is Jay, and in this video I want to talk about the rules for the two new kits from the Games Workshop Imperial Knights line that are going to be up for pre-order this weekend. Obviously, a month and a half ago, the Lancer kit went up for sale, the Cerastus Knight Lancer kit, and everyone was wondering if this was going to be the first of a trilogy or just the solo one. Turns out, it was the first of a trilogy. So this weekend, the other two big Cerastus Knights, the Castigator and the Acheron, are up for sale, up for pre-order. And they're both amazing looking kits, which begs it once again the question, should you buy it? First of all, they're both plastic, which is phenomenal. There's customization, which is phenomenal. They look awesome, but I'm a little, I don't know. I think people are going to buy them. They're cool, and the fact that they're not Forge World resin is really nice, but this is not really the time to be an Imperial Knights player. The Imperial Knights just got hit so hard with nerfs over the last few weeks. Imperial Knights have kind of disappeared from the meta scene, the competitive scene. If you look at the top results from last weekend, I don't think any of them involved Imperial Knights. No, Eldari actually were very few and far in between as well. Imperial Knights got hit really hard. And so I found it really interesting that they released the Lancer about a month and a half ago, nerfed the army into oblivion, and are now coming out with the two other kits. It's a little weird. To be honest, it is a little odd to me. It doesn't seem the best for sales. That being said, out of the three Cerastus Knights, the Castigator, the Lancer, and the Acheron, I love the Castigator's rules, and so I'll go over both of them today and just discuss the rules, and you can decide, of course, for yourself if you want to buy them. I think they're going to be quite popular. They'll probably sell out. The Castigator is definitely the better of the two versus the Acheron. Now, the Acheron is actually my favorite kit for the look, and it was by far my favorite model in previous editions when there were pie plates. But it got nerfed pretty heavily when they took off the pie plates and replaced it with a flat 2d6, and we'll talk about that in a couple minutes. So we'll start with the Acheron, the Castigator. I want to start with the Castigator first because it is the better of the two, in my opinion, and obviously you can think about this for yourself. The Castigator comes in at 485 points. So once again, you're pretty much talking the same amount of points as a Crusader. Crusader is like 500 points, fully kitted out, tons of firepower, slower, less wounds for the Crusader. You know, the Cerastus Knights are faster, they have more wounds, but 485 points is very close to a Crusader. And the amount of firepower that a Crusader has, you basically have to make up for it in some way, shape, or form for the Castigator, right? Makes sense. So let's talk about the rules. So 485 points. Once again, I think it's decent for its points values. It's just hard to substitute a Crusader over that. Has a 5-up invulnerable save from shooting attacks, 12-inch movement, toughness 12, 3-up save, 25 wounds. Once again, leadership 6-up, objectives secured, objectives OC of 10. So let's start with a ranged weapon. It's a really cool gun. It is the Castigator Bolt Cannon. Is awesome sauce. It's my favorite gun of the three Cerastus Knights. 36-inch range, twin-linked, 18 shots. Awesome. Hitting on 3s. Strength 6, AP -2, 2 damage. That is an awesome gun. The reason being, of course, so 18 shots, so statistically 12 will hit, maybe a good volley. It did have sustained, was going to be the bonds, but unfortunately they lost that recently with the nerf. Cool. We'll go over that in a moment. But yeah, they used to have sustained, if you bonded them, sustained hits, which would have been even more insane. So 36-inch range, so 18 shots, probably hitting on 12 hits. Strength 6, wounding most things on 3s, 4s, maybe 5s, but it's twin-linked. And the twin-linked alone makes this awesome, because of course if it's a strength, it's a toughness 8 thing, then you got 5s, but reroll. That's great, but if you're wounding on 3s, re-roll. It's nice, right? So it's going to do a lot of damage. AP -2, 2 damage. It'll kill some Space Marines, some Orcs, bunch of infantry. Awesome sauce. Its melee weapon is the Tempest Warblade. It has two versions, of course. Strike, which is 4 attacks, 3 up to hit. Strength 14, AP -4, D6. Awesome. right? 6 damage. Once again, it'll take down vehicles, it'll take down land raiders, it'll take down other knights. It hits hard in close combat. This is why it's my favorite knight of the 3 Cerastus knights. Also has a sweep mode in case you're stuck in with a bunch of infantry. Strength 12 attacks, hitting on 3s. Strength 9, so wounding most things on 3s or 2s that you're worth killing. AP minus 3, 2 damage. So we'll do some serious damage, right? That's a great hit. Abilities, of course, Deadly Demise, Code Chivalric, Super Heavy Walker. Its Bondsman ability is, if you bond it, the ranged weapons have an armor penetration is improved by 1 and gets sustained hits. Huge, right? That would have been amazing before the nerf and it actually counted. Now it's not as good, but of course if you give it to, you know, one of the little guys with the autocannons, not bad. Sustained hits, sweet. Armor penetration better by 1, also sweet. That really helps. So I think this guy works really well with the little guys. You know, it'd be cool. And Storm of Bolts. In your shooting phase, after this model has shot, select 1 unit, excluding monsters or vehicles. Hit by 1 or more of those attacks. Until the start of your next turn, while this model is on the battlefield, that enemy is suppressed. While a unit is suppressed, each time a model in that unit makes an attack, so subtract 1 from the hit roll. Cool. Yeah, there you go. So great model. 485 points. It's cool. You know, it's a great model, and oh, that's okay. And so it's a great model, and it will hit hard. It shoots well at a distance. 36 inch range is good, plus the movement. So really a 48 inch range threat. It's fast. It hits hard in close combat. 485 points. Now let's compare that to the Acheron. I'm not a big fan of the Acheron rules, to be honest. Cool model. So before we begin, this model used to have the gigantic flamer template. And it was basically the size of my forearm and my hand, right? So my hand would be the pie plate and the length of the pie. Right? It was huge. Like you just lay it down and knock off. Like I used to hit 12, 15 models per laying down that automatically hit everything. This thing used to be the scariest thing in the world to bikers. When it was back in Biker Spam, back in 7th edition, this thing was the scariest thing with the Fear of God in all these models because it would just knock off Space Marine bikers like no one's business. It went through their armor save, ignored cover so they couldn't jink. It was insane. And then they replaced this gigantic template with 2d6 hits. Like the Imperial Knight, not the Imperial Knight, the Dread Knight used to have a small template and it has 2d6. 2d6 hits. That annoys me. So the Acheron is cheaper. It's 445 points, but let's go through it and you get a lot less for those 40-point difference. So once again, movement 12 inches, 12 toughness 12, 3 up save, 25 wounds, leadership 6, OC 10. Has a 5 up invulnerable save against range attacks as well. Its ranged weapon is 2. The Acheron Flamer, which once again is Torrent and ignores cover. So cool. 18 inch range, 2d6 hits. The auto hit. Strength 8, AP minus 1, 2 damage. So it's not going through a lot of armor saves. Ignores cover, but still does not go through a lot of armor saves. 2 damage, 2d6, or on average hitting 7 hits. But the Castigator, on average, 12 hits, goes better through armor and reroll to wound. This one not. So huge difference in the guns. As I said. It also has a twin heavy bolter, which is a sustained hits 1, twin linked, 36 inch range, strength, 3 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 5, AP minus 1, 2 damage. So you can split fire, but once again, a lot less firepower than the Castigator. And it has its Chain Fist, which is 2 modes, strike, 4 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 14, AP minus 4, 6 damage. Once again, identical to the Castigator. And the sweep mode, once again, 12 attacks, 3 up to hit, strength 9, AP minus 3, 2 damage. Right? So, Castigator's better, basically in every way. Its ability, its Bondsman, is while a model is affected with this ability at the start of the fight phase, each enemy unit with an engagement range of 1 or more units with this ability must take a battle shock test, subtracting 1 from the result. Cool. And Searing Flames, in your shooting phase, after this model is shot, select one enemy unit hit by one or more of those attacks made with an Acheron Flame Cannon. Until the end of the phase, that enemy unit cannot have the benefit of cover. Cool. Very circumstantial. And that's for 445 points. So once again, ultimately up to you. If you're going to buy one of the models and you're going to be in a competitive circuit, I feel the Castigator is just better for your money. Both models are really cool and are awesome to paint. I really think that now that they're releasing all three, they should have just done one kit with a bunch of different heads, a bunch of different arms. It'd make a lot of sense, save some money, be more efficient. But I guess each one is slightly different. But frankly, it would have just been a lot nicer of a kit just to have all three versions in the same box. I don't know. What do you think? Leave comments in the comment section down below what you think about this. Do you like the new models? I really do. Go check them out. What do you think about the rules? I think they're cool. I think the Castigator is better. I think it's better than the Lancer. And then the Acheron is the weakest. I miss that pie plate of doom. Stay tuned for more videos. Until next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting.